7 Days Blood Moons, the 7 Days to Die sort of PvP game that they've released, which is a 4v1 fight to the death, having 4 survivors take on 1 zombie master. This released on the 4th of November of 2025, developed by Illogica and published by the Fun Pimps. The art style is a little bit strange, gameplay not the greatest, and it's pretty repetitive. It's sort of Resident Evil or Reverse, whatever you want to call it, when they did their own sort of little spin-off, where it was a multiplayer Resident Evil game. And for the most part, it was okay, but nobody had asked for it. And it was the same with 7 Days Blood Moons. Now, the reviews are currently sitting on mixed. Of the 295, 42 of those are positive. Now, that's gone up 1% since the game released. When I did a video on the 6th of November, it was sitting at 41%, with I think it was 180 reviews. So, not the greatest. And the player count is also quite low. Now, the team have been pushing out a massive amount of updates over the past few weeks since the game released. And since then, it's not really made much of a difference. I do feel like 7 Days to Die Blood Moons is something that nobody asked for, but they gave us anyway. Now, if you are a fan of 7 Days to Die and other survival titles, subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, and stick around for much more 7 Days and other survival content. If you want to see more RPG-based content and Bethesda stuff, check out the second channel, Space Cowboy. All the links are in the link tree in the description down below. Now, since the game did launch on the 4th of November, it's been out for 20 days at the time of releasing this video. Now, there have been 7 hotfixes and updates since it released, with not too many of those receiving much in the way of discussions and likes. They've also got a bit of a roadmap, which we'll check out towards the end. But, as you can see, the hotfixes fixing a decent amount of stuff. Unfortunately, though, it just seems like it is not enough. So that's loads of hotfixes, 7 in total, since the game released just 20 days ago. And the reviews aren't really changing, and it hasn't gone up at all. Then when it comes to the actual player count itself, that is also not the greatest, with an all-time peak of 183 and a 24-hour peak of 39, with just 30 playing 15 hours ago. And then refreshing it, 42, 4 people playing. It seems like the better time to be playing the game is sort of 1 AM UK time. That's where you've got, on average, between 30 and 50 people playing. So considering the fact that it is a multiplayer game and you do need a decent amount of people on, it's just not really worth it. I played 2 days after it came out, and it took me 15 minutes to try and get into a lobby, and waiting 15 minutes I still didn't get into one. I just don't think the audience is out there for the game like they thought it was. Whether they've made their money on it, I'm not too sure, but overall, it's not an enjoyable experience. I've played for about 2 hours, and it just wasn't that fun. It was okay, I enjoyed it a little bit, but the hitboxes are all over the place. There's loads and loads of quality of life stuff, loads of stuff that just should work. Seeing as though they're basing it off of an already established title, a lot of those things should work, but they just don't, and it is a shame. The actual crafting side of things and building up and leveling up your characters, I thought that was okay, it wasn't terrible, but currently I don't think they're going to make it out of the woods with this one. I think this is going to be something that just dies off pretty quickly. I reckon by sort of January, February, you will have less than 20 average players. Now, their roadmap is interesting, there's some okay stuff in there, but I don't think it's enough to keep people coming and playing again. Now, as you can see, the roadmap here, pretty extensive with some good stuff in it. Better gameplay, new playgrounds, more zombies, and new features. We don't have an actual timeline for any of these, so these could be months or even years out. They might get this stuff out pretty quickly and then release it to a 1.0 version, charge a little bit more for it, and then go from there, but I'm really not 100% sure. But for better gameplay, they want more weapons and skin variations, a new grenade, new Molotov cocktails, and then a quest system as well. Matchmaking improvements, tutorial improvements, and open lobbies, as well as UI and gamepad control. I mean, none of that is screaming out, yay, I want to play the game, which is a shame. And then when it comes to new playgrounds, new Twitch integration, new Endless Night Horde mode, new maps, tons of new maps, Suburb, Misk, Far West, Campground, Cemetery, and Northern Lab, which Northern Lab could be quite a cool map. It doesn't seem like much of it is based on the original game's areas, which is a shame. It could have incorporated some of those in, like the Navezgane General, or some of the police stations, stuff like that, from the main game, and then that could have brought in a few more players. Maybe not much, but it would have brought in some others. Something like Dishong Tower and stuff like that, which could be a really cool thing to actually sort of defend and play a map on. But it doesn't seem like they've capitalized too much at all on the actual main gameplay elements. They've just used the name by the looks of it so far. There's obviously a couple of weapons that are in there, like the pipe revolver and stuff like that. But other than that, it seems like just, here's a 7 days game. Let's see if it sells more with the name attached to it, rather than releasing it as a sort of standalone title. And obviously having that name attached probably brought in 50% of the players. But who knows? I don't think it's going to be something that really lasts. They're going to bring in more zombies and things like that, but still, it's just not going the way that they'd hoped, I'd imagine. I am enjoying it a little bit. So it's good to jump on, just play solo for a little bit, but I like grinding for rewards. That's something that I enjoy doing. It's something that I like about survival games. You can just do the same mundane, boring stuff, and it can eventually get you better gear, better levels, which, yes, that's what you can do in this, really. Especially if you want to play on your own. You can't be a zombie master, which I hope that that's something they introduce in the future, because I think being able to play as the zombie master would keep more people playing solo. Doesn't seem like there's too many people that are jumping into this. There's probably a few hardcore 7 Days to Die players that thought, yeah, that'd be a cool little thing to jump on for an hour or so after playing the main game and building our bases up together. But who knows? Hopefully the future, they do add more stuff to it, and it is something that gains a few more players, because the concept is quite cool, and I think if they'd done it in the original graphics as well, that would have brought more people, because the graphic and art style, not really something I'm interested in, and that is a bit of a turn off. If it was like 7 Days to Die, I'd probably play it a bit more, but we'll see what they do with the future of the game. I do think, though, by sort of February of 2026, it's probably something they're going to start to slowly phase out, shut down, and not really bother too much with. But what do you guys think? Have you tried it? Is it something you've enjoyed? Is it something you want them to work on and continue making a bit better, and then you'll come back to in the future? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, we're going to continue to push out a bunch of content over the next few days with 7 Days to Die. I'm really enjoying playing it. It's not something that really, I don't think, is resonating well. I don't know if it's doing too well. It is one of my lowest performing categories. The Blood Moons does work quite well. It goes in well with the channel. It never really falls at the number 10 out of 10 recently performed videos. But I'm going to try and do guides and stuff like that in normal 7 Days to Die. Yes, very, very late to the party, but it is one of my all-time favourite games, and I'd like to do a bit more with it on the channel. So if there's anything specific you want to see, let me know in the comments down below. For today, we are going to wrap that one up there. More of a bit of a rant about the state of 7 Days Blood Moons, which, a shame it is the state that it's in, but we'll have to see what they do in the future. I've been Wired, you've been awesome, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.